this is Aishwarya once again. I know it's been long that I have done some videos wherein, some informative videos which will help you if you are planning to come to US. So today I thought that, I'm on campus, by the way. So like my university, and you can actually book conference rooms that's going to be there in any university that you go. So I've booked a conference room and I was here and I was comparatively a little free. So I thought like, why not utilize the space time that I have and curate some videos. Since this is again fall season, wherein a lot of students from India and abroad are going to travel to US for their studies. So why not help them by making some videos? So the topic for today's video is 10 things to know before visiting US. Okay, so these are the 10 things that I wish that I knew before I visited US and my friends also. So I have gathered this information and I have curated the list of 10 things that you should be knowing before you visit US. So let's go. Okay, so number one thing that you need to know is there are not going to be a lot of public transportation options here. So like I am from Mumbai and I'm assuming that it's there in all parts of India primarily, that if you want to travel from one place to another, you either have a bus or you have your rickshaw or you have cab. Uber is always there, you have taxi, you have metro, you have train. So traveling from one place to the other, or if you have your private car, that's always an option. It's not that difficult, especially coming from Mumbai. Travel is very convenient, very sorted. Leave apart the pollution and what you want to know about like the traffic jam and things like that, but it is convenient. Like you can get a bus, train quickly, and you can reach from point A to point B. Here in the US, I stay in Boston primarily. So I see that a lot of people usually have their own like mode of transport. Maybe like they have their own cars, most of them usually. So public transport, in the sense, there are a lot of options, but it's not going to be that convenient if you are from one of the metropolitan cities of India. So like sometimes I have to take a bus, so I have to see like on maps, okay, the bus is coming in say half an hour. So I go from point A to point B, which is my bus stop. Then I catch the bus, and for example, if I have to go to like say somewhere around 10 miles ago, so I might have to take 2 to 3 buses and maybe a bus and a train to reach that place. So that is something that you have to adapt yourself to if you're planning to come to US. I know that in some cities it is quite sorted, but in some cities it's not that easy. But on the other hand, there is Uber and Lyft everywhere. So Lyft is again another way wherein you can book your rides. It is similar to Uber. So Uber and Lyft are the two things that you need to download as soon as you're here in US, so that you can actually use the cab service which is there. Okay, now let's move ahead to the second things that you should know before you're visiting US, which is expect to encounter a lot of diversity. Okay, so when I talk about diversity, while in India, I'm not talking about that. In Mumbai, usually it's multicultural. So you'll see people from different cultures and North Indians, South Indians, and you would not come to know the difference. But it is not that, when you come to America, you're only going to meet Americans. So it's going to be a mix of people from America, Australia, China, India, and the South America, North America. So you would find like a lot of different options in terms of cuisines, in terms of languages these people everybody speaks. And obviously English is going to be like your one point of communication to everybody. But other than that, it's very multicultural. So you are going to meet people from different cultures, different countries, in fact. And that's again a benefit of studying abroad. So that's going to be really fun and exciting if you are the one who likes to talk to different kind of people and exchange different cultural thoughts. So that's something that you need to look up to. Now let's move to the third point. So the third point is you must be 25 years old to rent a car. Okay, so 25 years old, you can rent a car, but only thing is the cost of the car increases. So if you are in US, you would usually rent a car from Enterprise or Hertz. These are the companies that they give you car for a certain period of time. Maybe you want to book a car for 2 days, you want to rent a car basically. So you need your driver's license, you need a credit card, Without credit card, it's very difficult, to rent a car. So you need to have your passport, you need to have your driver's license, Indian license would also be valid, and you also need to have your like credit card. So these are the three things that you would need. If you are like below 25 years of age, they have some extra insurance coverage that you have to pay, so that costs expensive. So it's better that in your group, if you have somebody who is like 25 years old, he or she can actually book the car. So that's again one thing that you need to consider. Let's move to the fourth important thing that you need to know if you're visiting US. So the fourth one on the list is the weather is going to vary drastically. So in different parts of the US, the weather is going to be very different. Like I'm in the East Coast, I'm in Boston. It is famous to snow, like it snows heavily. Right now, when I am recording this video, it's still July. But as we move to October end, it starts snowing, and the snow is going to continue somewhere around from October till say March, April. It's going to be heavy snow. Right now, usually they say it's summer, but past week entirely, I have been experiencing it's 91 degree Fahrenheit, which is somewhere around 32 degrees Celsius during summer. And then there was this entire week where it rained very heavily. Now, this is only in Boston. If you travel to other parts, like if you want to travel to the West Coast, there you would not find that much snow. It's going to be like only in winter and not that heavy. But the temperature is going to be not that chilly year round. It's going to be more hot, more sunny. So that's like one thing that you need to keep in mind. So wherever you go, the weather is going to be different. You have to be very prepared about with your summer clothes. Maybe having carrying a jacket always helps, which is also going to prevent you from winter, or maybe snowstorms. So once you decide that which part of US you are visiting, so you can actually check out the particular weather conditions in that particular area, which is going to be really helpful. Now next, let's move to the next thing that you need to keep in mind, which is the fifth most important thing. We are not on the metric system as it says. So what do I mean by that is, as you know, I was talking about the temperatures. So we use Fahrenheit and not Celsius. If you want to talk about, we are not going to use kgs, but we are going to use like pounds. And then we are also not going to use your kilometers, and everything is going to be in miles. So it is going to take a little while to get adjusted to all the another metric system basically. Another thing is, if you're used to saying that it doesn't come on the metric system, but it is important to know that if you're used to saying 1 lakh, then you have to move to 100,000. So there is nothing called as lakh. So it's always 1,000, 100,000, 200,000, $250,000, maybe, if you're talking about something like that. So that is another thing that you need to keep in mind, and you have to be well versed with that. Okay, now let's move to the sixth most important thing that you need to know before you're visiting US. So restrooms, Wi-Fi, if you are traveling, if you want to look for a restroom, look for Wi-Fi, look for Starbucks or Dunkin'. So Starbucks, Dunkin', like mostly if you go to the West Coast, you will find more of Starbucks. If you're on the East Coast, mostly you will find Dunkin's. So if you're looking for a restroom, if you're looking for Wi-Fi connectivity while you're traveling, so Starbucks and Dunkin' are your go-to places. In India, I'm sure that you would not find like Wi-Fi at most of these places. Like even if you're stopping at McDonald's or something, you would find restroom but not Wi-Fi. But here, that's your go-to place. For example, you're traveling and you have an urgent call to make, or a video conference or something like that. So you can stop by at these places and complete your call. Okay, the next most important thing that you need to know before visiting to US is you have to be 21 to consume alcohol. Why I'm saying that is because even if you are going to a liquor store, or you are going to a pub, or wherever you are going to be asked your ID, and that's mandatory. You would not be allowed, even if you're just going at some places, and even if you don't drink or you don't plan to drink, they are going to ask your ID. So it's important that you carry your ID most of the times everywhere, so that even if you're just going to a restaurant to eat, they would ask you your ID because of the age restrictions that are there. So you have to be 21 to consume alcohol, and ID carrying is must. So that's another thing that you can make a note of it. Now, moving ahead with the eighth most important thing that you need to know if you are in US, most of the places, the food portions are going to be huge. Being in India, we are not used to having like huge food portions. Like, if you are in a family, so maybe like, you order, say, 2 to 3 dishes, and the concept is basically that, you are going to share. But here, if I'm going for a breakfast place and I'm ordering breakfast, usually the people like order for themselves, and each one in the family is going to order for themselves. So it's more of a cultural thing. So you need to keep in mind that if you're going for like for at a restaurant and there are 4 people, so you can actually order like 2 portions of food, whatever you are ordering you can share, and then you can order again to avoid wastage. So that is something that you need to keep in mind. Having said that, there are going to be a lot of places, usually tapas bars and something, wherein it will be written that those are small plates. So if it's written that there are going to be small plates, then you can order accordingly. But at most of the places where I have been, a lot of times initially we usually end up ordering a lot of food, and that gets wasted. You can obviously take it for like to go takeaway later, but you should be aware that what you're going to order. So it's always a good practice to order less, because food portions are going to be more, and then you can order again. So that's again one thing that you can keep in mind. Moving ahead to the second last thing for the day. So tipping at the end is expected in all the restaurants, mostly like, for females, if you're women, if you're going to parlor and everything, or if you're going to a spa, so there also tipping is expected. For restaurants, if you're going there and like, you are eating, you're ordering a meal, so you have to tip. I'll tell you a background behind it. So usually what happens here is like, all the servers, when you go to restaurants, they are paid very minimum wage, and that wage is like super low. Like I have read, I don't know how far it is true, I've read online and I've read a lot of times that they get an hourly pay of somewhere around $3 or $4, which is very less as compared to like the US currency. So, how they earn is when you tip them. So, for example, you are a group of 5 people and you have ordered food, and there is going to be just one server throughout who is going to, like, serve you. And towards the end, he or she is expecting some amount of tip, and the tip that you give is going to be completely that person's tip. So, it is a tipping culture. So, ideally, the servers are paid, the minimum wage is super duper less. So, they are expected to be, like, tipped. As a student, I would say that you can start from like tipping 10%, whatever the cost is, 10% more of the expense that you have like had at the restaurant. But like as you like you start earning and you have like a full-time job and things like that, then you can move up to like 15% or 20%. I understand that it's your money initially when you come here, so you don't have like a lot to splurge, or you are very cautious about the money that you spend. But ideally during student days also, you can like tip 10% of the entire cost, and that is expected out of you. Okay, now the last thing that you need to know, the 10th most important thing that you need to know when you are before visiting US is, unlike India, when you are like on the road, you have to cross on the zebra crossing, and you have to be very careful about the signal. So there is usually a push button there. You push that button and it's going to show you, it's going to give you a symbol of a person walking. You have somewhere around 10 to 12 seconds, and you have to cross on the zebra crossing. Okay, so it's a pedestrian first country, even if like people are going to stop for you. Okay, unlike India, wherein everybody is rushing and you are the one who has to stop. People are going to stop for you, but basic traffic rules, you need to cross on zebra crossing, you need to push the button, and you need to cross when it's your turn to cross. Okay, so these were the 10 most important things which I thought that I would have known, and I've gradually come to know. So I thought it was going to be a good video for all the newcomers who are coming here with their dreams and starting their grad school life, or undergrad life. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want me to do more such videos, do let me know in comments, and do share it with all your friends, like, who are planning to come to US for their higher studies. Having said that, I wish you all the very best for your new journey ahead. And there is a bell icon there. If you click on bell icon, you will get daily notifications of whatever videos I release. And it's not going to cost you anything. So please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. This is Aishwarya signing off, and I'm going to be coming with more such videos, which is going to make your life easy in US. Bye bye.